My name is Adeleye Bukola. I'm a graduate of Public Health Science at Kwara State University, and I'm the Creative Director of Balasruby Stitches. My brand name, Balasruby. The name was actually originated from a combination of my name. It's like a precious gemstone. So all my customers that I make dresses for, they are very precious, just like a ruby. I've been into tailoring for like 12 years. It all started as an hobby because I was in school when I enrolled to become a designer. So at the end of the day, when I finished NYSC, I decided to go fully into the business. Fashion designing is gaining value day by day because fashion designing it's not all about just cutting and sewing. Fashion designing has gone way beyond that. Like you need to be very, very creative. So fashion designing is gaining value on every ramifications. The first challenge I had was capital. So, but then I was able to overcome that by I started right from my room. I took clothes from my neighbors around, my friends. Then from there, I was able to gather little amount of money. You could definitely say that it was one sewing machine that I started with. So I started from my room, then gradually from there I was able to save up a little amount of money to get a small space, like a shop space. Then from there I started getting other equipment to make my work easy. The number one thing I would say is that just be confident in what you do. Like, know what you're doing. Like, you know fully well about fashion designing. It's not just about cutting clothes, so that you don't land yourself in trouble with customers' clothes, especially if you are a bespoke fashion designer. Like, then another thing that I would say that has been working for me for the past years is trust. Over the past years, I try as much as possible to ensure that my customers trust me. You know, once you gain the trust of customers, like you will be able to build a sustainable fashion home, in the sense that your customers, they will have that trust in you that their dresses will be ready at that particular time that you've already told them. So as a fashion designer, you have to be truthful, so you will be able to earn their trust. And apart from being truthful, you have to know what you are doing. Actually, my fashion home is not in the final stage. It's still undergoing. Like, I'm still undergoing the building hall. This is actually not what I really want, but so my experience so far so good in the process of building my fashion home. I started from the scratch. Like, I started right there from my room. Then gradually I started with a small space. Then gradually it's turning into something. One thing is just that, like, you can start small. My experience so far is that you can start small. Nothing is too small. Don't be thinking that you have to wait till the time that you'll be able to afford the big sewing machines, like the industrial machines, the like all these things that we are using. You can even start with a single mannequin. Like, you can start with a manual machine, then gradually, as you are progressing, you will be able to get better equipment to make your work faster and more easier. Then at the end of the day, you will be able to acquire much. Then you should try as much as possible to learn day by day, because this fashion business, like the fashion trend, the way it was 5 years ago is not the way it is presently. So everything is moving gradually. Like, it's not being stagnant. It's not what we were taught that we are still doing. Like, new styles every day, you have to improve on yourself. So that is it. One of the issues that one might encounter when it comes to apprentices is the fact that it is not everybody that is ready to learn. You might just encounter an apprentice that is not ready to learn. And as a fashion designer, as the CEO of a fashion brand, if you have apprentice, make sure that your apprentice is different from your staff. Because once you decide to make your apprentice become your staff, they might end up disappointing you. Like, you've already taught them to the point when you feel like they are good to go. Like, they can start sewing your customers' clothes. It is a very, very big risk. You must make sure that your apprentice, they are your apprentice. That is, they are your students. Just train them the normal way and they should go. In my point of view, fashion design, the future of fashion designer or fashion designing is very bright. because as a fashion designer, like it's always good to even have a cliche like what you do as a fashion designer. I can be a fashion designer that deals with only ready to wears, then I can also be a fashion designer that deals with bespoke or bridals. Like the only thing I do is to sew wedding dresses. And I can be a fashion tutor, fashion designer. You can become a fashion designer and you can be a bidder. You can be a fashion designer, you can be a painter, you can be a fashion designer and be a tutor. So like the list is endless. So I believe that the future of the fashion designer is more than just being a normal tailor. So I believe so.